Check off.
Check?
Check. Yes, check. All right, check.
Check.
All right.
Check.
All right, I just have to. Okay, all right. Okay, we're not starting yet. We're not starting yet. All right. So, I don't have my pen. All right, the start time is 10:03. From Washington Improv Theater in Washington, D.C., it's That American Life, the podcast show that explores American stories, the compelling depths of America and its life. And in the show, which will be done in 3 acts, we need some inspiration for the show. I was wondering, is there anybody here tonight who has who read something interesting, say an article, a blog post, a story, a profile, maybe something you read in the New York Review of Books, that you wouldn't mind just coming up here for a moment and sharing? You just have to tell us a little bit about it and what you found so interesting or compelling. Anybody in the audience? Anybody? There, yes. Thank you. Hi, and as you can see, this right here is a...
Check.
This is a microphone, and with it we are going to be able to then magnify and record voice.
Check.
So to start off, can I get your name?
Katie.
Katie. Katie, and can I just say I love your hearing?
Thanks, me too. I have 2 of them.
I didn't want to just assume that there were 2 because I can only see this side of your face. Yes, but I love both.
Thank you.
I love the plural. So Katie, tell us. So you must have read something or found like a story that you found very interesting, something that made you stop and go,
I did indeed. I recently read an article that when you get a notification that you have an unread email, your IQ drops by 10 points. That's it. That's the whole story. That's all I have.
Wait, in the moment.
In that moment, when you're distracted, you're in a task, and then you see, I have an unread email, and you're thinking about it, but you haven't actually read it yet,
you are,
IQ drops.
if you were doing something that required brain power, and then you were looking and you see that you have an unread email,
Yes.
and now I, as a podcast host, I get a lot of emails.
I would hate to see what it does to your IQ.
Yes, Katie, that is fascinating. So has this changed at all how you are approaching your email?
Well, I actually left my phone at home yesterday, and I felt a lot smarter.
Fascinating. Katie, I just want to say thanks so much for sharing. That was absolutely so much better than what the person at the 8 o'clock show did.
Maybe they had an unread email.
I think it's hard to believe we did that one. Thank you, Katie. You can take your seat. So, Pete, this is huge. This is science.
Yeah.
This is science. Life.
Everybody has email.
That's true. Everybody has true. All right. Shoot.
Okay, I've got something. I used to work at a federal agency.
Okay.
We had a couple of people who refused to use new technology, and I had someone who would not surrender their typewriter.
Oh,
Yes.
It came to fisticuffs.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Surrender your typewriter.
I would like to go back and find out, did she ever surrender the typewriter? Where's the typewriter today?
Yeah, high noon at the Fed.
High noon at the Fed.
I knew the
High
bad.
noon at the bed title.
Great.
Denny, producer, high noon at the
You
bed.
know, she spoke of like just leaving her phone at home and how it made her a better person.
Yeah.
I'd love to interview someone that doesn't have a phone.
Here.
I met one the other day.
Get out.
I did.
I'm going to interview.
Okay, Ryan and Kate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Ryan and Kate. Act 2 and
Phone home.
phone.
Oh.
No phone home.
No phone home.
There it is.
Yeah. No phone.
No phone home. Ryan
read any emails for a week. I'm just gonna look at the notices. I'm gonna see how dumb I get.
You're asking
I'm doing that is okay.
I love that little blurb that like shows up, like the
Yeah.
first like 10 words of your email.
That's wonderful.
You've got dumber.
You got
I'm free.
Okay, all right, so everything is around technology, everything's around,
Mhm.
you know, what's it
Yeah.
called?
Out on the technicality.
Out on the technicality.
So the title of the episode is Out on a Technicality. Out on a
Yes.
Technicality.
Out on the technicality.
Out
Nailed
on
it,
tech-
yes.
We're out on tech.
For our show, we're going to be exploring the intertwining, twining, stitching and threading of technology into our lives and how it affects us, how it makes it smarter, how it makes it dumber, how it makes it easier, how it makes it harder, how it makes it differenter. And our first act in our show is again called
Out on a technicality.
Out on a Technicality. I should have written that down. And our first producer, Denny Johnson, with High Noon at the Fed.
The DMV wait line. The 1040 EZ. Filling out a census form. We've all been there. We all know that if you want to grind something to a halt, give it to the feds. In the infancy of my career, I was at a rarely used department known as the Department of Labor. It's a small level cabinet agency who no one would miss if it were gone. And in this building, this monstrosity on the mall, lived a group of people who were literally stuck in the 1970s. One of these people, Terry Temis, was refusing to get up to date in technology. And I asked myself, where is she today? So I found her still at the Department of Labor, in the same cube, at the same phone number. And I gave her a call.
Well, I just don't see the value of all this new technology. I think I can get by just fine on my own, my little typewriter.
Terry, so we're clear, you're still using the typewriter.
Yes, sir, I am.
And what forms could you possibly still be filling out on a typewriter?
Well, usually I have my friend Rebecca. She goes to this man who has a printing press, an old school printing press, because I do not like to use printers either.
Are you,
even indirectly.
Terry, I gotta stop you there. Are you talking about a Gutenberg printing press?
Yes, I am. And he prints out the basic forms, and then I feed them through the typewriter so I can fill them in.
Terry, is anyone actually assigning you work anymore?
Well, yes, of course. They assign me about 2 forms a week to fill out.
Two whole forms?
Yeah, these are forms that are very important. They process a welfare for veterans.
Terry, I gotta stop you there. The welfare of our veterans and their employment needs are being met through you filling out forms.
And me alone.
Folks, you've heard it all now. So I had to get another expert on the phone.
So, the technologically defunct Act of 2004 is actually what prevents us from being able to fire people like Terry. It's discrimination.
I'm sorry, so that we're clear, Terry is a protected class of citizens because of her stupidity.
Yes, human resources regulations. Nationally, technologically defunct Act of 2004.
The TDA.
The TDA.
So what are American citizens to do with problems like this? I mean, we need our forms processed, we need our benefits, What is the solution?
Give them remedial tasks. Have them clean out the hole puncher. Someone has to do that. Could get really messy. We actually provide a list of tasks that they could do to employers.
Actually, how many tasks are on that list?
4.
Can you read them all, please?
Yes, well, first we have the hole puncher removal.
Yes, you mentioned that.
Okay. The second is rearranging the Tupperware in the fridge.
I'm sorry, fridge Tupperware? Is there a lot of fridge Tupperware?
There's a lot of fridge Tupperware, especially in the federal government offices.
That's interesting. What are
That's
the other...
another act, and I can't get into it right now.
What are the last 2 tasks assigned to folks who are covered under the TDA?
Well, we thought it would be fun to let these people act as bathroom attendants at their places of employment. That's been a real win for us.
So let me see if I can, connect these dots. You say to them, you can't use technology, but you've got to sit in the bathroom all day.
Protecting their rights.
I love it. And what is the very last task?
Oh, the last task. Staple, remover, polishing. We don't let them remove the staples because they could get violent due to the way that they are treated around the office. But we do let them polish them.
You let them polish the staple remover.
Yes.
Do I have that right?
Yes.
Wow, fascinating. Fascinating. There's just one last person I had to get on the phone, and it's Terry's direct supervisor. From what I understand, Terry has had a litany of supervisors over her 37-year career, and this millennial upstart thinks that she's got Terry at retirement. Melinda?
Yeah, can I just say, first of all, fuck my life. Okay, managing a person like Terry is like birthing a baby cougar every morning. All right, I walk in the office, she's staring at a wall like a dum-dum.
That's extremely specific. Baby cougar. I've never seen a baby cougar birthed.
Well, it's insane. Google it, okay? Do you know how to Google?
Indeed, I will. I think it's Terry that doesn't know how to Google, to be totally honest with you.
Is this on some sort of radio program?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is being recorded for a podcast.
Can you get it on iTunes?
Not yet, but fingers crossed.
I switched back to iTunes because of Taylor Swift.
So this must be a real struggle for you. You seem someone who's extremely technologically advanced.
Yeah. I do all of my work on an iPhone 6.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So folks, that was it. A clash of cultures, a fight between generations, and somewhere in the middle, the clinging of a typewriter.
That was producer Danny Johnson with High Noon in the Bay. So, probably most of you own phones. And when I say most of you, I mean most of the people who are listening to this podcast right now on their phones. But there are people out there still who, when you need to tell them that your plans have changed that night and you will not be going to the T.C. Boyle reading at the Folger Library, you have to page them or send a messenger pigeon or something of that like. And tonight we've got Ryan Kroll and Kate Symes who are going to explore the no phone home culture.
When I was a young boy, growing up in Tucson, you're from Tucson, right, Kate?
Yeah. Well, we grew up together. Remember Mr. Day's class, 3rd grade?
Oh yeah, you were in that one.
I was in, yeah, we were seatmates. Nestmates.
Lab
There were
partners,
budget
if you
cats
will.
that year.
Yeah.
So Tucson, and remember what it was like? It was this crazy time when technology was booming. I think we were learning typing.
Yeah, it was typing.
It was typing. We were all getting like these laptops and desktop computers, and it just felt like a new era, kind of.
It's really starting up. When I was younger, because I'm a year older than you, I only had a car phone. What did you have?
Well, we had only landlines, but I distinctly remember the day when my dad came home with a cell phone. It was one of those huge, it was like half a foot long, I think, weighed about 4 pounds.
Dad, are we rich now?
Yes, I've got this phone.
Oh my gosh.
Be careful, you can't touch it,
Okay.
okay?
Can I lick it?
Now, come
Oh,
on.
I love licking expensive things, Dad.
That's why we put that lock on your door.
I licked the phone.
Yeah, you were confused by things a lot.
I licked almost everything my dad brought home.
That's it, and just the antenna, okay?
Okay,
Who
Dad.
should we call?
Let's call my lab partner.
Do you remember the very first phone call we made from that phone was to you?
I do. It was September 10th, and I'll never forget our conversation.
Is this the effeminate boy in your class?
Receive me.
Okay, it's ringing, it's ringing.
Hello?
Hi, Ryan, it's Kate.
Who?
Kate, your lab partner.
A lab partner?
Ryan, are you acting 1 year older than me again?
Oh, you mean, the girl who sits next to me at my desk?
I never really learned your name. I think you should love her.
Yeah, I was trying really hard to flirt with you for a minute.
Oh, I'm gay. I'm super gay.
I figured that out. But anyway, that was the first cell phone, and you know, it shaped our lives. So, you know, cut to today, everyone's got one, don't they?
Yeah, and they're getting smaller. I'm worried.
They're getting smaller, they're almost disappearing, but so much so that certain people don't even have them. So you've got a friend, right, Ryan?
Yeah, Josie Boinks.
And she does not have a cell phone.
Josie, I'm so glad you could make it.
Oh, no, I had to go all over New York to find a phone booth to call you at 1:30, so hey.
Yeah, that was crazy. We sent you a letter like a month ago.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm like it's such a, people don't reach out to me very often.
Do you find your relationship struggling because you don't have a phone?
Well, you're my best friend. And we haven't talked in about 3 years.
Ryan, I thought we were best friends.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
No, what I'm saying is I really am cut off from the world, but like it's the only interesting thing about me that I don't have a phone, so it's kind of my identity.
I guess I'm just wondering, Ryan, why you would be best friends with someone who's so uninteresting.
This is a podcast. This isn't about me. Let's not do this right now, Kate.
Let's not do this right now, Kate. He sent me some lovely letters in the mail. We pretended it was wartime. It was so sweet.
Okay, all right. What about your family? How does your family get in touch with you?
My family?
Yeah, your family. You have a sister, and both your parents are dead, right?
So obviously we had to call Josie's sister and get to the bottom of this.
When I want to get in touch with Josie, I don't shower for 2 months. I rub myself in my own defecation, and I raise my armpit to the wind.
And why? Let's make the deal on this one. And why is that?
That's how she comes. We share the same genes, and it's a primal way of communicating, and she's my sister.
So we just have to pause the podcast for a moment and let you know that this section of the podcast is going to get extremely graphic. So if there's small children in the car, you're going to want to have to earmuff them for a second.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks.
So yeah, she's my sister, and that's what I do if she's in the United States. Sometimes she does go international, so I have to really push myself.
Is there something else you rub on yourself if she goes international?
Of course there is.
What do you tell us?
Well, what I do is I wait a full lunar cycle, and then I menstruate, and she just comes.
I'm sorry, that sounds like you're just having your period.
And if she's overseas,
Shake it, the wind carries.
well, not the wind, Ryan.
Ryan, you know nothing about it.
You need to be a woman to
Guys, this is not
understand.
about me again. I'm gonna go into this again. This is a podcast. How does she spell you?
International currents and androids in the sky. They pick it up. Technology does play somewhat of a part.
So, we finally had our answer.
Crack the code, if
How
you
does
will.
somebody live without a cell phone? And the answer is
Smells.
by smell.
Pheromones.
That was Ryan and Kate, producers, for No I just feel like I need to preface Act 3 by saying that Jackie Puliche is probably one of the most intelligent people that I've ever met, and certainly one of the brightest producers that we always consider ourselves very fortunate to have her on our podcast. And I just want to say that this the work that she's been doing in this particular story has very much changed her and affected her as a podcasting journalist. And well, without further ado, Act 3, you got dumber.
Hello. Hi. My name is Vanessa Williams.
I'm Jackie. Jackie, you're not Vanessa Williams. You're Jackie Puliche.
Could maybe someone else speak for me because I'm really confused right now.
We have producer Catherine Dedman, who is going to
Thank you, Louise.
I've had to move in with Jackie, actually, Stuart, for her to complete this assignment. So we've been living together.
And the assignment, if you could just give an overview, I think that Jackie has become too mentally deficient to
That
actually.
is, Stuart, that is putting it too mildly.
She says I'm dumb as fuck.
She's just begun to understand that. I've been saying it for the past 4 weeks. She just began to understand it because the whole time she thought she was Vanessa Williams, and sometimes she thought that she was Cindy Crawford.
You got the right one, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I can't do this anymore.
Are you jumping ship, Jack? Never let that.
Catherine, it's just, as a podcast production team, we have to be out for one another. We have to take care of one another.
I know.
And we just want to make sure that we're all in this together while Jackie explores this other side of.
Okay, well, let me just let Jackie talk a little bit. See if she can.
I can do this. I can do this.
Go for it, Jackie. Go for it.
So, I took a lollipop.
This is while she's in the shower, by the way.
And we have producer Kate Symes, who's.
Yeah, we did some studies on Jackie actually before she did the experiment and after, and it's fascinating. She actually watched 42,178 email notifications over the course of.
A lot were from David Plouffe, the Obama guy.
And it's amazing because she actually remembers a lot of the details about the emails themselves, but nothing else prior to the experiment. So it's been fascinating to watch. We actually didn't look into it prior to doing this story, so we don't know how to get her back.
Are you trying to make out with me?
This is another side effect of the experiment. She does think all of us are sexually advancing on her at all times.
That's really heavy-handed.
And producer Dennis Johnson was in touch with Jackie.
I legitimately was sexually attracted to Jackie prior to the experiment. But when someone of this IQ level approaches you, tongue out, at the water cooler, it feels rapey. do anything about it. And so I don't look at her the same way. It's a my sister's keeper situation. So when we get her back, maybe.
I do.
No,
I do.
no,
I do.
no,
I do.
Jackie, I'm
I
not.
take thee.
No, I'm not. This isn't. We're in a studio, Jackie.
Yeah, so I started trying to experiment with different ways to bring Jackie back.
Oh, if I can just interrupt, this is That American Life producer Jack Novak.
So I tried to think, what is the opposite of receiving an email notification? So we tried a lot of different things. I tried completely erasing her entire email inbox. That didn't seem to work because she still, like someone said before, had basically a photographic memory of all those email notifications and they kept coming in. So I tried other more experimental things of what would be the opposite of an email notification. I tried throwing her phone at her
What
head.
about that day at noon when you ate a sandwich? That was a good strategy.
Right, I ate a sandwich.
She has some memory.
Yes, well, I did send her an email about me eating a sandwich. That's actually that. I thought maybe if I connected something that she had witnessed with an email, maybe it would stir up some of those memory fires that had died out. But
I have to go home.
wait, Jack, where did you go, Jackie?
Jackie has, oh, thank you, Kate.
Okay, right, that's great, okay. Great.
What's later?
I have one more thing that I would like to try, and I thought that it might be interesting for the sake of this podcast for us to try it right now, right here while we're recording. Jackie, I'd like for you to take out your phone. Do you have your phone? Your phone with you? Is your phone in pocket?
34 double D.
Jackie. Phone, pocket, good. Good. Email out.
I'm with Denny now.
Jackie, we're
We're not together. That's not true.
I do.
we're gonna open an email together. We're gonna open the email. Open it, not look at the notification. We're gonna open it. Push the button. There you go. See? Look at all those words. See how many words?
Shut the fuck up, Jack. You're so condescending. So, this was really something.
She's back.
She's back.
Jackie is
Mine. Back off, Benny.
And if you are currently listening to this podcast, I just want you to know that the Craigslist ad we put out for a podcast producer has been filled with Jackie, who is returning to us. Well, that is the way that technology intersects with our lives, and that is That American Life, which was produced tonight by Catherine Dedman, Dennis Johnson, Jackie Police, who is Jackie Police. Again, Kate Symes, Ryan Kroll, Jack Novak. In absentia producers are Caroline Blair-Pettit, who is traveling, Jules Duffy, who is now a mother, Jamie Lantanen, who is a father ×2, and Justice Hammond, who is a professional actor and is doing something where he gets paid for it tonight. Thanks to Kate for sharing the story with us. Thanks to Dan Miller for doing the music, even though we don't have clearance for it or any permission. Commonwealth's director is Michael Johnson. WIT's artistic director is Mark Chalfant, who has been known to say,
It just feels rapey.
I'm Stuart Walsh, and that was That American Life.